trouble when I breach. Funhouse active. Yeah, king of the palace. Rubber like Malcolm. Balled up, fist in the air to the flashlight. Yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out. Funhouse active. Yeah, king of the palace. Rubber like Malcolm. Balled up, fist in the air to the flashlight. Yeah, hands up in the air till they gun me down. I keep it 100, they crunching the numbers, I'm bringing out. I just might crash it. Really, I'm passing. Running from the manage. Just cash me. I just want passion. Love and attraction. Let me live that shit. I just might crash it. Really, I'm passing. Running from the manage. Just cash me. I just want passion. Love and attraction. Let me live that shit. Charge on its last light. Same clothes I'm from last night. Still lit like it's last night. Young living in the fast life. Young. Smoke cloud from the hash pipe. Catch air from the half pipe. I need to send a phone from the shows with the mansion. Chandelier dancing. Counting a brand.
Yo, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It's that time of day yet again. We're here for the New York session. 8 minutes until the New York Open. Well, I believe the actual market is trading now in terms of Forex, but the New York market is on its way. Got 8 more minutes until the start of a new 1 hour candle, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin is moving. I want to bring the fire to you today, guys. We have a lot to get through. Mad love and respect to everyone passing through to today's live. It's going to be a very interesting one. We're going to break down price action. We're going to dive into the Bookmap. We're going to try and make sense of Bitcoin's behavior. It's earnings season as well, ladies and gentlemen. So all the heavyweights in the stock market, if they're going to be declaring losses, that might have a ripple effect on Bitcoin. Mad love and respect for everyone passing through to today's live. We're bringing the fire to you. Let's have a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. So, it's time to get a little bit exciting, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to get too excited because I want to try and help you understand the name of the game, which we call trading. But Bitcoin right now is experiencing some volatility. Firstly, we're going to break down the charts itself. This range by Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, is very interesting. Why? Because look, we are currently back again in this zone, okay? Very interesting zone by Bitcoin. To be quite honest with you guys, we got the first red vector candle coming in from this range right here. We've had several attempts to the upside, but no follow through. The 200 EMA seems to be acting as a point of support for Bitcoin, but are we going to see it hold? This is the key question. On the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame would lead us over towards the 50 EMA on the 4 hour time frame, but the problem we've got is this bad boy right here. We understand Mr. Market Maker likes to build his shorts at higher prices. A key practice for you guys to understand where you are in the chart is to start highlighting whole and half numbers. So for the nature of demonstration, the key 40,000 zone right there. Well, let's mark it off, make it clear cut so we know exactly where we are. Bang, there we go, 40,000. Are they building shorts above key notable areas in order to realize a return to the downside, take out all the liquidations to the downside in anticipation to show us more information about their intention to move higher? 50 EMA hasn't followed through on the 4 hour, so we are now going to see if this resistance zone itself is going to hold and Bitcoin is going to come down lower. Now listen. Let's just take a look at the liquidation points in the chart right now, ladies and gentlemen. Over the past couple of days, Bitcoin has done a good job of shaking out all the traders. New York is famous for its stop hunts. Okay, we know that it's famous for the reversals. We can have one or two reversals. As of play right now, we are working the Brinks box session, which the Brinks box itself, for anybody new to the channel, will understand that it's the time of day where they set up for the rest of the session. They'll initiate a stop hunt, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. We're going to be making sense of that very shortly. As it stands right now, ladies and gentlemen, there is roughly, only a small amount, but just shy of about $900 million worth of longs in this range right here. Okay, you can see that we've got $149 million worth of longs opened at 39,907. We've also got the 25x traders down here at 38,678. Now these are the liquidation points, but most of the liquidity was opened in this zone right here. Is Mr. Market Maker going to utilize this liquidity? Is he going to snap it back down? Because this is where the vector candle resides. All we are waiting for is a sharp move to the downside on at least one of the higher time frames. So given the 1 hour time frame, you can see already that we have got a red vector candle, but it's holding above the 200 EMA. They've rejected the daily open. Now, what's more important, ladies and gentlemen, is the S&P 500 and, of course, the NASDAQ. We've got a couple of heavyweights declaring some earnings results. We're in the first quarter of earnings, so we're going to see where the heavyweights reside. More importantly, ladies and gentlemen, if Bitcoin's correlation with the S&P and the NASDAQ, if the NASDAQ is going to drop, the S&P is going to drop, then there's a good chance that Bitcoin is going to follow suit. Okay? What we're waiting for proof of this move to the upside is a clean retrace into the 50 EMA. Look at the confluences. Yeah? You've got the psychological high, which sits at 39,898. You've got the 50 EMA, which sits at that point. They've broken below the 5 and 13 EMA. This is an aggressive move. At the start of the 2 o'clock candle, which is in 3 minutes time, ladies and gentlemen, we will know exactly if this move to the downside right here is an attempt for them to get longs filled at lower prices whilst taking out all the longs who have been going long on this move to the upside. In other words, will the retail trader pay himself, or will he add to this point whilst Mr. Market Maker is taking advantage of all the longs who went long a couple of days ago and haven't paid themselves? Okay, there is a plethora of liquidations in this zone, ladies and gentlemen. Today may be the day when they actually mark it down lower, but until the start of the 2 o'clock candle, and then of course at 2:30, which is the start of the futures markets, we will know exactly where we stand with this attempt by Mr. Market Maker to shift price down. Okay, so we just got to sit tight and wait for that. Another way to look at this, ladies and gentlemen, is of course if we pull up the Bookmap, got a couple of things on here that are being, it's quite interesting to say the least. We've got over 1,000 Bitcoin in this range, aiming towards 40,000. So hypothetically, if Bitcoin does drop down and trigger the 40k mark, we're going to receive an influx of orders getting triggered at this point. You can see already that we've got over $83,000 worth of long liquidations being liquidated in this zone right now. Now, this is what's happening inside of the candle. If I zoom in closer and closer, you're going to see exactly where the liquidity would come in if it was to recommit in this zone. On the right side of this Bookmap here are the orders coming in. On the left side are orders that have been placed, and where orders have been cancelled as well, which could be a point where they may trigger those orders again in terms of interest if price makes its way towards those zones. In other words, if Bitcoin comes all the way down to 40k, we can anticipate a little bit of support, given that we hope that traders will step in at this point and start buying up. Okay, this is the limit buys. Here we go. New York session, ladies and gentlemen. Let's roll with it. I've got another one here for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is a chart which shows me, allows me to filter the orders of Bitcoin in the Bookmap. And this is only done on Coinbase Pro. And I've set it so that I can see the orders coming into the order book between 5 and 10 Bitcoins. Okay? So you can see we haven't got that much liquidity. We've got 3.9 up here, 2.4 and 2.48 right in this zone. What does this help me with? It helps me understand where Mr. Market Maker is working. Is he working the bids or is he working the ask? Because if he's working the ask, he's looking to raise price higher. If he's working the bids, there we go. He's working the bids. He's looking to push price down lower. You just seen right there. We just had a big batch of liquidity coming into that point. Next point of interest will be 40,150, ladies and gentlemen. Bitcoin going to make that break into that zone and absorb that liquidity. Let's see if they do decide to follow through with that. I got Steve calling me again. He always likes to call during these points in the chart. That's a big move to the downside right there. Just look at Bitcoin across the board on all 5 exchanges. Okay, so we got some movement down, trading below the VWAP itself. Lots of delta coming in. They're absorbing a lot of the limit buys. The order book itself is not really showing that much of an imbalance, to be honest with you. Here we go. Limit sells, so they could be picking up some orders in this zone. What is going on with this, man? All right, then. So we just got to sit tight for a second. We've just now tested the 200 yet again. Is this going to follow through? I need to check out what's going on across the board. Have we got the open yet? Here we go. Where is the S&P? Is it open positively yet? Not yet. It's not open just yet. E-minis. Where are we at? Right there. NASDAQ trading lower. They're going into the structure to try and break down. We might get last week's low. It all depends on what's going to happen with whoever's going to declare any earnings today or not, or what the anticipation of it will be. Looking at the... Where are my yields? Let me have a look at my yields. Have my yields triggered open yet? Here we go. 2.73. Okay, so now risk is off. So they're now putting... They're going to the government. They're putting their money into the US government bonds themselves. So traders are feeling a little bit concerned with what the story is. Let's look at like crude oil. Crude oil starting to come back up. A nice little W formation on crude oil right there, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, jeez, man, what is going on with my speech today? I will let you know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm currently on some pretty strong painkillers because my daughter stood on my clavicle and I'm going for an x-ray today at 4 o'clock. Because I may have fractured my clavicle. Because my daughter, she likes to do wrestling. She's only 4 years old. And she decides to just jump on my shoulder and really disrupt it right there. So yeah, I'm in a lot of pain today, ladies and gentlemen. So if my speech is somewhat slurred in some way, you know that these painkillers are doing a good job. Mad love and respect to everyone passing through. Patrick D, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Mad love for you all people passing through to today's live. We're going to try and make sense of what Bitcoin is going to continue to do. Here we go. So they've rejected this point right here, which is good news for us. Absolutely good news. So far, so good. They keep testing this 200. Really important. If we go into the smaller time frames, it just looks like we're getting ready to just break down. It really does. They've come away from the 50 EMA. They're not trading above the daily open and they've pulled away aggressively from that point. You can see the plethora of stopping volume candles coming in. 1, 2, you got a 3, 4, and then the stop hunt rise fail. Look how they come back into this vector point right here and then they just completely move away from the range. The thing is, guys, on the higher time frames, it looks like Bitcoin's breaking down. On the smaller time frames, we need to try and make sense if they are trying to hold. This is what we're trying to see. Are they trying to find support in this area? Are they going to trigger enough liquidity to come into this point to send Bitcoin higher? Because remember, the 15-minute time frame, the 50 EMA on the 15-minute time frame is the 1 hour 13 EMA. Okay? So now they're trading below that. And we understand that when momentum's going to change, we can anticipate that if the 5 and 13 start pointing downwards, then the only way that we can continue this this movement to the downside itself is through the moving averages expanding. So we're in a point right now where we need to wait and see. Because we haven't actually gone anywhere. All we've done is just move down to test the 200. We are waiting in principle to see if Mr. Market Maker is going to come down and attack these areas right here where the vector candle resides on the higher time frame. And it looks like it wants to break down and move towards that range. So as long as Bitcoin can maintain this status, then fine, we will see Bitcoin move lower to the downside. We can only make sense of it based on the way they're picking up the liquidity down here. If we look closer, they've rejected the VWAP itself, ladies and gentlemen. 40,150 is the point of interest for me. That's where I'm looking for Bitcoin to end up before it will try and recover back up again. Here we go. We've got some movement. What are they trying to do? I need to look at this. So it seems like they're working the bids based on the orders that are coming in. We've got 2.48 Bitcoin. It's not that much, but I'm filtering the orders. Okay. So I can go into my filters right here and add a filter. I can get rid of that and set it so that it only factors in, 5 Bitcoin to 10. So I can set that and I'm not really seeing much. Okay. I'm not really seeing much liquidity in the chart. So it's in essence, small traders. Okay. If I start seeing lots of liquidity in this area here, ladies and gentlemen, then I'm going to be able to make sense of what orders are coming in. If I see a big 10 liquidity coming into the order book itself, happy days. We'll understand where we are with regards to Mr. Market Maker or anyone trying to buy and sell Bitcoin. Here we go. Nothing much there. I need to reduce that down. I'm going to try and change this to 2 Bitcoin and change that. Here we are. To 7. Let's make it 7 right there and understand where we are in that instance. So still below the VWAP right there. We've got more pushes to the bids. So we might actually see Bitcoin move down just that little bit more. Go into Binance Futures itself. We can see lots of liquidations. They're coming back down, back up. Still can't take out that VWAP. Some people have gone short in this zone, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got to keep an eye out on that. Who's gone short right here? Here you go. $47 million worth of shorts were opened at 40,306. So 100x traders may get liquidated at 40,527. We might get that volatility back up towards the start of the New York session, which is in 25 minutes time. Let's try and make sense of this madness, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you have passed through? Good morning all. Bella B, what's good? Mike Dutch, what is happening? Okay. Gmok, what's good? Yeah, that would be interesting. Then that would be 1,000 people following. Yeah, that's a big problem, bro, if it goes wrong. Cody Kai, how you doing, my man? I was just about to say your name, bro. No worries. No worries. Cool. Helen, how you doing? LA. Lucius, how you doing, my friend? Wicked, wicked. Magix, what is happening? Patrons, members, what is good? Discord, pattern watchers. You're all coming into the lives today. Mad love and respect, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to be here. Just for the quick notification right there. I feel like it's bad to talk about this coin, but I've got to. Dogecoin, what's going on? What is going to happen with Dogecoin, ladies and gentlemen? I'll tell you exactly. It doesn't matter what's going to happen with Dogecoin, whether it goes to $1 or whether it goes to 1 cent. We want movement. And this is something that you'll learn in the Traders Reality channel. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel and you are new to this channel, make sure you do subscribe. Get yourself the indicators. They are free of charge. You can download them. It's pinned to the top of the chat and you'll be able to understand how we make sense of the market maker's business model. All right? It's not by accident that Dogecoin moves to the upside and then consolidates. It's no accident that Bitcoin recovers most of the vector candles in the chart. Okay? There's a reason for it. And the ultimate reason is this. They only care about liquidity. If we pull up this chart right here and we have a look at where the liquidity is across the range up between 44K and 38K, we are going to have a clear overview of what Mr. Market Maker is gunning for. Here we go. As it stands, to the top before Bitcoin rose the past couple of days, there was roughly about $20 billion worth of short liquidations. Now we are at an even point. Look, there's now 796 short liquidations and 614 long liquidations in the visible range between 44 and all the way down to 38. So we're at a breaking point. Will Bitcoin continue up and eat the short liquidations, or will it come back down into this range? Okay, we do have a very interesting time happening very soon with regards to the Cosmos and the Ethereum network. Okay, EVMOS, they're merging them together. Something's going to be happening and they're going to be bringing those two platforms together. So it's going to be good news for Cosmos holders and Ethereum holders. But are they going to move it down lower before they move it back up? Looking at Ethereum itself, you can see a sharp move up, fails to break above the 50 EMA on this green vector candle, no follow through, so we need to be cautious and wait and see if they decide to come back down into this range and consolidate into a small structure in this zone. Principally, this is what could happen on the 4-hour time frame, okay? Because they broke beyond this structure right here, let's make the assumption that Ethereum is preparing to do the following. Because we've only got a little bit of information. So we have to project out. We have to find focus and see, okay, is this going to be a shakeout for the retail trader to take advantage of the shorts, bring it back down, eat the liquidations for the longs, make everyone commit to the short side again, and guarantee that we have got liquidity up here from the short sellers and then make them pay at a later point in the chart? Is that a possibility? Do you think that this could be a play that happens? Because there's a lot of talk right now. Is the market bottoming out? What's going to happen? Let's look at dollar yen. Dollar yen's dropping. About time. Because dollar yen going up was a problem for Bitcoin. It was a big problem for Bitcoin. The more dollar yen rose, the less inclined that Bitcoin was going to move up. Because in principle, you're trading against the US dollar. You buy Bitcoin in dollars. So any asset against the US dollar ain't going to be doing so good if the dollar keeps moving up. We've got this nice play right now. M formation on dollar yen. Go to Bitcoin. W formation. Could this be the case that Bitcoin moves up? Are we going to see Bitcoin come down? Because that's what we really don't want to see. We don't want to see dollar dropping. We don't want to see Bitcoin dropping. We don't want to see gold dropping. When everything is dropping, something's going to give. It's a setup. So that then the true disparity comes into play. Yeah? If we start looking at gold itself, gold's starting to come back up against the US dollar. That's good news. We do have some orders coming out very shortly at 3 o'clock. New home sales for the US. 3 p.m. is the magic hour. Always the magic hour. The market would have been fully opened. Everyone would have put their orders in. They would have absorbed absolutely everything. And then the true trading day will start. Okay? Here we go. Come on, Bitcoin. What have you got for us today? Seems to be going down even more, ladies and gentlemen. 15-minute time frame. Looks like it wants to break the structure down. It's tested the 800 again. And come back up. Seems to be going up and down. Let me have a look at this. Here we go. So we've got the drop, the retrace, not following through. 294 Bitcoin hitting this zone right here. Let me just make sense of the bids. Okay, so they seem to be floating about in this zone. Adding and taking orders away. This is on Coinbase, of course. Topside liquidity showing for Bitcoin at 40,500. We go onto Bitcoin on Binance itself. We can see there's lots of liquidity up here anyway. I'm just trying to filter out the orders. Seeing if the delta is going to actually increase on here with Bitcoin. If we start getting some more aggressive movement to the downside, we are likely to try and come tap into this zone. Whenever there is a whole number nearby, price tends to magnetize towards it, okay? Because that's where they know they can trigger interest. Look at the liquidity down here. There's liquidity sat at 40,000. 258 Bitcoin in that point. Before that, there's about 400 Bitcoin in this range right here. So naturally, if they're going to try and reverse back up, they want to pick up the orders to the downside to then move it back up because they need to get traders to commit to opening positions so that they can go back and take their liquidity. Yeah? Yeah, people are saying about Doge, man. Don't short Doge, don't do this. Listen, right? If Doge is going to continue moving up, fine. We want it to come down first. Because you've got to understand, the guys that were in Doge beforehand now have had people coming in. They have now sold into these guys. Okay? Now, the guys that have brought here are now scratching their heads thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen? I'm going to buy some more. The guys that missed out on this move to the upside are now coming into the chart and saying, right, I need to get into Doge right here. Which is why we're seeing Doge dropping down ever so slightly. It may even come back towards this vector point right here. It can even come down to the M2 pivot point as well. What you've got to remember is whatever news comes out about any coin, there will always be someone on the other side waiting to sell into someone. Mr. Market Maker doesn't buy here. Retail trader does. He sells here. He buys here and he sells here. But the problem that retail has is when they say you buy low and sell high, retail trader thinks because of this move to the upside, it's going to continue even further up. So when he buys from here, he gets shaken out. And that's the game of trading, ladies and gentlemen. You will always have this problem. So if you are in profits with Dogecoin, pay yourselves. Right now, there is a balance. We are now waiting for an imbalance. You can see that it's out of balance. Look at that. That's just a standard news play. Any altcoin out there that experiences news plays, most of the time comes back into the range. It's just as to whether or not traders will start showing an interest in Dogecoin right now to shift it back up again. We've already had an attempt up here and no follow through. Is Mr. Market Maker stopping traders from seeing price going to this point or not? This is the question. Where are my stuff, man? There it is. Yeah? Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? How many of you are in Dogecoin trades? How many of you are in Dogecoin? I'd love to know how many of you are actually buying Dogecoin right now. Mega pint. Did I say mega? Oh man, am I saying stupid things again? Oh my days. All right, Bitcoin's still not breaking this range. I think that if Bitcoin does break this range, because right now we're still accumulating in this zone. It's a consolidation. They've moved away from it, but they haven't followed through. They haven't broken key structures in the chart, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm seeing right here that we've got another 15 minutes, of course, until the start of the New York session, futures markets. I do believe that we're going to see some more volatility to the downside. I believe that could be the case, depending on how the New York session is going to play out. Let's have a look at the S&P for a minute. Let me just bring that up. Hold on a sec. There we go. Currently in a short on the S&P. So things seem to be working okay on the S&P right now. Yen doing okay. All right then. So we know where we are. Short on the S&P 500 right now, because this is the actual E-minis in principle. I'm trading it on contracts for difference. Okay. So it'll always be operating. The actual market itself has not yet opened. So S&P in principle may initiate a gap down. Okay? The price of the S&P right now is 4,270 and it finished at 4,296. So it may gap down ever so slightly at the start of the New York session, which is in 20 minutes and 10 minutes time. Okay? So we may be coming into this vector candle zone. We may see some news announcements coming out. We know that we've got the home sales coming very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. So we do need to make sense of that information very shortly. Back into Bitcoin going down now. Here we go. 261. Here we go. We got some movement, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. All right. So they've consolidated in this zone. This is the next zone of interest where they may need to get interest from in terms of filling orders. 40,150 is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin for us to actually solidify a breakdown lower. They need to break that 40,150 range, which is in this zone right here. They need to break that point. If they can't break beyond that, we may have at the start of the futures markets a spike up and then a spike back down again. But they're working the range. They may have already started to release price lower because we've been here before, ladies and gentlemen. How many New York sessions have we seen this play before? Let's check it out. Been there before. Where is it? Been there before. Where we at? Where is it before they initiated the drop? Come on. There it is. Right there. The same story right here, ladies and gentlemen. I need to kill this stuff right here. Come on. Here it is. Look at that. It's exactly the same structure we are in right now. Okay? Does it mean it's going to do it? Who knows, man? If you think it's going to do it, you pay to play. That's the nature of this game. No one is responsible for your liquidity other than yourself, okay? And the sooner you can take responsibility for your decisions, the longer you're going to last in this game of trading, ladies and gentlemen. Straight up. Yeah? Here we go. Bitcoin aggressively coming down. That tells me that the futures are going to mean serious business. Come on. No, I want this. There we go. Get rid of that. Okay. Paying attention, 800 EMA. If they break the 800, Bitcoin may flush towards the 40k. Flush, you know. Flush towards the 40k. Here we go. Here we go. Some movement coming in. Here we are. We can see that 40,150. We know there's liquidity at 40,150. We want to see, look at how this is starting to turn right now. Starting to add liquidity. They've taken some away. Starting to get it filled closer into the chart maybe. Potentially. Oh, big look, big order there. About 30 Bitcoin came into that 200 mark at the 40,200 zone. Let's see if they're going to do it. Let's see what is going to happen right now. I'll tell you what, I'll start looking at some altcoins very shortly because Bitcoin is going to start making some moves right now and we need to just be paying attention to that zone. Get your coffees, ladies and gentlemen. 10 more minutes exactly until the start of the New York futures markets. Whenever there is the start of a new market coming into play, guys, all right, expect a flush of liquidity, all right? And then we will see the true move. Here we go. Can Bitcoin break into the 800 EMA going towards the psychological high? Because that's where the confluence resides. That is where it's at. Look at the liquidity down here, man. 300 Bitcoin. Is it going to do it? Is it yippee-ki-yay to the downside? There she goes. Happy days. Come on, Bitcoin. Ooh, wait. Look at that. Didn't break the structure just yet. Nice absorption right there. 40,000. Nearly taken out the 40,000 mark. Where did it go? 97. Look at that, man. So sharp. Look at that, how they've absorbed that liquidity. Look how they've come into that point and tested that interest. And now we've got a bag of liquidity coming in at 40,000. Got to be mindful. The Bookmap is favoring limit buys. Look at that, plus 30, 40%. That is nuts. Limit buys are being hit. Mr. Market Maker's eating the long liquidations from yesterday. It might come into that psychological high, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back and enjoy the ride. And New York ain't even open fully. The futures markets ain't even bleeding yet. And Bitcoin has already started the game. Wow. Are you enjoying yourselves, ladies and gentlemen? I can't help the delay, my man. I'm so sorry. I can't help you on that. I'll look at the altcoins very shortly, my friend. Here we go. Remember, guys, this is just a short-term move. This doesn't mean Bitcoin's going to go to 10K, all right? As day traders, we're only interested in surefire plays, high probability setups based on the way the candlesticks are behaving, okay? So let's see what they're going to do. Here we go. Is this going to turn into a red vector? Ideally, I want this to turn into a red vector candle. Liquidity coming in. Delta's increasing. They're shifting lower. Look at the liquidity coming into the Bookmap right there. 40,000. Ooh. See how they just added and then took all that liquidity away? So they're starting to find support in this area here. We've got to be cautious. Remember, 8 more minutes, man. Where are we at? 8 more minutes until the start of the futures markets. This could be... We could get the New York reversal. They're not finished with this move potentially to the downside. They may want to move Bitcoin to a certain point. We've got to wait and see what the futures markets hold. How's the S&P going to open up? Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? We're going to wait and see what the story is. Dogecoin down 2.47. Longs are getting liquidated. That's why I say to you all, please, please, whenever you're in profit, pay yourselves. No one went broke taking a profit in this game. No one. It's the guys who don't take a profit that are broke, that don't last in the game of trading. They don't pay themselves. That means you don't want to stay in the game long enough. You just enjoy the excitement of being in a profitable position is. That's all it is. God, man, you know what? My speech is all over the place today, ladies and gentlemen. It's unbelievable. 1,600 of you are showing mad love in the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We have got 7 more minutes until the futures markets open. Let's see if we can get our likes up in relation to the actual viewership. Mad love to all you beautiful people passing through and checking in to the Traders Reality channel. And a quick one for you, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Be mindful of the 3 p.m. clock. Be careful. 3 p.m. New York time, UK time is a very special time in the markets. Okay, here we go. Off they go, 40k. Come on, Bitcoin. If they release to 40k, we could get some support. But if they break this structure, then drinks are on Steve, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth right there. Drinks are on Steve. Look at the liquidity. You're seeing people going mad to try and hit lower and lower and lower. Just be cautious with that, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in longs, pay yourselves. If you are in shorts, pay yourselves because they can reverse it. And we know what New York is like, ladies and gentlemen. So please, please, please be careful with your trading. Okay? Let me see what you guys are saying right here. Remember to drink water. Thank you very much, John. I'm holding a cup of coffee right now. Vector candle. Here it is. There it is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Violet vector candle. We know that if it's a violet vector, it could mean that volume's starting to rise. If it finishes as a violet, it could indicate that it may start to slow down. Okay? So right now, we're getting the proof of the move. This is the proof of the move to the upside. Is it going to hold? I'm expecting some volatility later on, depending on when the news and the earnings reports come out for Microsoft. I know we've got Microsoft declaring news tomorrow. We've got, I believe it's Tesla. No, where is it? Here is our... Where are the actual earnings calendar? Where is it? Where are you at? I cannot know. Where's my stuff, man? Where is it? Earnings calendar, where are you? Man, I'll look for that another day. Never mind. I know that we've got some... Microsoft are going to declare some news today. Let's just have a look at Microsoft in terms of stock. Is it open just yet? Give it a sec. Microsoft Corporation, where's that? Where are we at? Okay. This is how it is right now. It hasn't opened just yet. So we're going to wait and see if that's going to be the case. Let's go back into Bitcoin. 130, ladies and gentlemen. 128. Is it going to make its way? Where are we at? Okay, then, cool. While we're waiting for the next 5 minutes, I just want to give you a quick heads up, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, if you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, because I'll be doing these same streams tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, 2 p.m. New York time. But more importantly, if you do consider joining the Patreon, don't join it until the start of a new month, okay? Because you will be charged twice. So just be cautious with that. When you are, or if you are in the Patreon itself, you get access to over 50 masterclasses that I update every single Wednesday and Thursday. We got a plethora of information in there all about the hybrid. It's just a deeper aspect of the hybrid, okay? But my advice to you is to try and get through as many streams as possible so that you're on the same level with the rest of the gang in the Discord and, of course, the pattern watchers overall, okay? Now listen, what you've got to be aware of right now is in 3 minutes time, there will be a flush of volume, because the market right now is going into the start of the futures. Now there's overnight futures markets. There are orders that have been placed overnight. New York is now at the desks. They're waiting for the bell. It's going to trigger in less than 3 minutes. So, based on the way Bitcoin is moving now, we might see another hit lower. If they don't break 40, they're going to bounce from it. But in the next 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we will know exactly if Bitcoin is going to rip into this area right here, which is the previous green vector candle range. So just get yourselves ready for that. If it's not done at the point of 2:30, then 3 p.m. may be that point. So let's sit tight and check it out. Here we go. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for it. Bitcoin coming down. Look at the liquidity at 40,000. Look, the more liquidity that resides in this point right here, the more likely they're going to try and come towards it. But we are quite close towards it. Okay? They can even bounce away from it, ladies and gentlemen. We have to accept that. Here we go. A minute left, nearly. Oh, man, this is where it gets really interesting. This is the proof of the move, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? Here we go. Let's go over to this point right here on the 1 hour time frame. What do we see? Is that still a red vector candle? Still a red vector candle coming back up. Look how sharply they come back up, man. Look at that. Look at what they're doing. Orders are getting ready. Here we go. 1 more minute until the start of the futures markets, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. They got into the same habit before. Stop hunt, rise, drop. Stop hunt, rise, drop. Is this another stop hunt, or are they going to follow through with it? Building the shorts at the highest possible point in the chart to follow through and bring it down lower again. The liquidity is down here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see if Mr. Market Maker is really going to throw everyone off guard in this range right now. So let's see what happens. Waiting, come on. 30 more seconds until we do actually see New York open in the futures. I'm going to set the charts up so that we have all of that. Let's bring that there. Crude oil may actually trade higher. Let me just change this up to the minis. Where is it? S&P minis. Wow, nice big bold move. Might see a little bit of a retrace back into that range just a second. Let me just get my chart set up. Are we going to see a gap down on the S&P right there? Here we go. That's the E-minis. What are you doing, Tino? Set that up right there. Bitcoin to the left of the chart, ladies and gentlemen, just to keep that into focus. Here we go. And then, of course, we got crude oil right here. Is crude oil going to shift out? Ideally, I want to see if NASDAQ is going to do something. Here we go. Let's get ready. Here we go. They've opened. Here we go. They've gapped down on the NASDAQ. Gap down on NASDAQ. Liquidity is going to start running in. Let's check this out. This is where it could get interesting. Bitcoin to the left. Is that liquidity going to run in? NASDAQ trading lower. S&P not open just yet. Why is that not open? That should be open now. S&P 500. There it is. There's the gap down. I had the wrong chart. That's why. There's the gap down on the S&P 500. So sentiment may be negative. They may try and come and recover this gap right here, but it may be short-lived. Bitcoin hasn't actually flushed out yet. 230. Wait. Are they going to do it? 257 Bitcoin. I need to make sense of this. Hold on. So big sales at the bids, at the ask right there. Big sell right there. Okay, so that could give me more information. They're going to hit the bids. They may even activate these bids and start marking price down lower. Where's Bitcoin on the Bookmap overall? Okay, so we got some traction right here. Big sell-off right there. Tapping into the bid, zooming out a little bit. They're changing everything up quite a bit. Making their movement. There it is. Is he going to do it? Going into the 40k range. Nasdaq trading lower. S&P going down. Vector candle strength. Come on. What you got for us? Where's Dogecoin in all of this madness? Where's Doge at? Where you at, Dogecoin? Come on. Dogecoin down 2%. Actually, it's gone back up a little bit, has it? Has Doge come back up? Yes, come back ever so slightly. Nasdaq still trading lower. Bitcoin aggressively coming down. 40,000 still can't break that 40k. What is going on with Bitcoin? Is that a good sign or a bad sign? What's the story there with Bitcoin? Come on. Need to take that. Here we go. See, look, the liquidity's there. They're for them to come into it. They're just playing with the ranges. Look, this is probably where traders are trying to fight. Oh, I want to hold Bitcoin. This is where it needs to show support. It needs to show support. Man, Mr. Market Maker don't care about that. The delay is just simply him getting more orders in this zone. He's eating long liquidation points right now, ladies and gentlemen. So you got to really make sure that if you're in a long, you want to pay yourself, okay? Because right now, price is dropping down. Market Maker is getting his orders filled. 27 minutes until this candle finalizes, and it's spent most of the time towards the lower end of that zone. If it turns into a red vector candle, we may see a little bit of movement. Keep an eye out. Here we go. Is it going to follow through? 40k still not hit. There is a plethora of liquidity at 40k. They may rush through it. Once they rush through it, we'll know exactly where we stand with the 50 and the psychological high in the range. And it's quite cool that they've come back to the psychological range so soon in the week. Okay, that's really good. Because now we know they'll be going back into their same place they've been building their spreads from, getting their positions prepared, so we can then anticipate volatility from the psychological ranges. It's good to stay away from Bitcoin when it's in the psychological ranges, because you know that that's where they're building their positions, okay? Seems like they're just not making their way. Look, up and then back down again. Not seeing that movement. 102,000 longs liquidated in this zone in... okay, nearly 42 events. That's quite a bit. Drop, retrace, no liquidity up here, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Come on. Man, I am out of breath with this bad boy. 40k. How many of you think it's going to hit 40k? How many of you think it's going to run through 40k? Gold is climbing. Yep, gold is climbing. What else is climbing up? Here we go. Come on, Bitcoin. Can you hit that 40 mark? Just break through it so we can work out what's going to happen. Come on. If you notice, the more they spend time doing something and not following through with it could mean that they're preparing for something else. This candle needs to break 40. Here we go. Get it in. Break it. 225. Come on. Oh my days, this is winding. I need to call Steve, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable. I need to make sure. Ah, man, come on. Make the break, make the break. Here we go. Violet vector candle, not really giving me that movement. I need to go into the smaller time frames just to make sense of this. Hold on, 15-minute time frame. Market maker presence, let's go. Come on. Breakdown, psychological high, 200 EMA. That is a key point of confluence right there. It's a big point. It's the most impressionable point, in my opinion, right now in the chart. If they're not going to go to it right now, there could be a good chance that Bitcoin may reverse from this. It could do that. There's a reason why they're stalling in this zone. It's like they're preventing price from breaking this structure right here. They have not taken it yet. This is a very important structure, ladies and gentlemen, because they release from this structure right here. Then there's going to be a little bit of a problem for anyone in longs on Bitcoin. Dogecoin coming back up again. Let's have a look at what else is doing. The numbers. Let me just pull up. Let's have a look at some altcoins. Actually, let me just pull up. What are you doing here, bro? Bitcoin's making its move. 40k, 45. Oh, what's going on? It's all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my days. Oh, my days. What is happening here? Come on, Bitcoin. Make your move. Make your move. I really want that zone to break. Nasdaq is getting absolutely ripped. They've trading quite strongly to the downside. Bitcoin following suit right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's clean up the charts so it's easy for the guys viewing this bad boy on mobile phones. Here we go. And let's bring up the Bookmap to make sense of it. Here we go. So anybody new passing through to the channel, this is the Bookmap, which gives you the live order feeds of the order book for Bitcoin in Binance. Okay, we have it across 5 exchanges as well. Right here, look at that, man. That is nuts. They are dumping everything across all the exchanges, but we know the difference between price dropping and rising. That's for another conversation. Looking at Bitcoin here, look there, yeah, they've worked the ask. Working the ask whilst it's moving up. So they're selling into the ask. So people are buying at this point. Mr. Market Maker is closing his positions. And you can see that they're now trying to work towards the bids. So they're working. But the thing is, it's just such a big... It's very interesting here. 5 at this point, 39k range as well. Can Bitcoin break it, man? Just break that range so I can go and pick up my daughter. I've got to go get her very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. You know that's the truth. Okay, 3 things guaranteed in the stream of Traders Reality. Death, taxes, and me picking up my daughter at 3 p.m. So I'm going to try and see if we're going to try and take it all the way through to 3 o'clock. Come on, Bitcoin. 40k tapped. There it is. 40k's been tapped. Now they're testing the intention. Here we go. 17k orders liquidated right there. Where we at with the high block? What is going on with this stuff, man? Here we go. Let me just zoom into this point right here. Come on, come on, come on. Speed up, speed up, speed up. No good for me. Here we go. Look at all these long liquidation points right here. The 25x traders ain't anywhere near until 39,141. Let's see. Red vector candle. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to see, this is where the proof of the move comes, because they've liquidated the long traders right here. All this liquidity right here is going to be seen to be tested to see if they can move price back up again. In other words, can Mr. Market Maker get more longs filled at this point to then start realizing a return of the liquidity for the retail trader coming in to buy at this point? Okay. So notice how they tap that 40k range right there. Happy days. Psychological high nearby. So that's going to be very important for us, ladies and gentlemen. Very important on this move. The reason why people are getting liquidated left, right, and center, if that is the question what you're asking, is because everyone enters at different points. You got 100k traders, 100x traders, 25x traders, 50x traders. They're all getting liquidated, which explains why you see this movement. Look what they've done. The information is right there. Look at how they snap back up. All the guys that have gone short right now are getting liquidated. Yeah? Look at the presence of Mr. Market Maker. 1, 2, 3 hits down. 5 more minutes until the start of a new 15-minute candle, which will reveal to us exactly what they're going to do with this range. Are we going to see another stop hunt rise, drop to the downside, break through the psychological high, building back into the building phase right here? This is where it could actually end up if the liquidity does follow through. Pivot point for the session as well, ladies and gentlemen. They've initiated stop hunt rise right here. No liquidity coming in. It's all down here, ladies and gentlemen. That is nuts. Selling into the ask. They're working the bids. They're hitting the bids strong. So we're going to see if we're going to see that move down lower. Here we go. Here we go. Psychological high. That's a point of interest. Let's just have a look at some other coins in the charts. Let's have a look at some altcoins themselves. Let's see who's actually doing well and who isn't. GRT, Lattice. Okay, psychological high. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to keep an eye on Bitcoin because that's going to be the reason why everything decides to move. Coming into the psychological high. There it is. Liquidity coming in. Breaking down. They're eating the long liquidations, man. That's why. Oh, God. So many people need to pay themselves, man. It's a frightening game, but it's the truth. Okay, here we go. Right, where are we at with the S&P right now? Is it happy days on the S&P? Are they still going down lower? We got some news announcements coming out yet? Come on, come on, come on. Not doing much now. See how they've come to each of these zones. Psychological high, not fully tested, okay, but somewhat close towards it. And then they come back up. 40k, come back up. They're working the blue vector candle right here. They've broken this structure. Okay? Stop hunt rise, drop. Further movement. They're working liquidations, so the money is there. Okay? I can imagine open interest right now is getting rammed. People are just open interest getting all the exchanges getting the money back from all the longs that have been trying to take advantage of Bitcoin's move to the upside. Where's this at? S&P 500, happy days to the downside. Dollar yen moving down. Where you at? Come on. Come on. What's going on? Why is it so slow? Make the move. Oh, shoot. That's no good for me. That is not good for me at all. Here we go. Bring this up here. Happy days. And bring Bookmap there. That'll work for me. Cool. All right then. Starting to hold out in this zone right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to close some of this stuff right here, because it may be taking up too much of my RAM. Has Microsoft actually declared any results just yet? Maybe, maybe not. Anyone from New York in here? Anyone from New York? Anyone from New York in the stream? Psychological high. Tiago. So the psychological high is the first high that is formed at the start of a new trading week. I have got a new PC, ladies and gentlemen. I just haven't set that bad boy up just yet because it's all part of the face reveal, man. I can't bring it in right now. I've got to set it up so that you guys have a nice, pleasant experience in the Traders Reality channel. Come on, here we go. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. They're working the range. Look at this. Look at this for liquidity, man. 39,800. We're going into the 25x traders. Here we go. Is Bitcoin going to release into it? Maybe a bounce off the pivot point. They're working this range, ladies and gentlemen. What time we at? 1:45, nearly 3 minutes until the start of a new 15-minute candle. We might get a little bit of a sharp recovery back up because they're coming back into the range where they started on the start of the week, the first high at the start of the week, which is right there. This range right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a psychological area in the sense where it takes the first high and the first low at the start of a trading week. Okay? Mr. Market Maker in principle sets up his range for the rest of the week. Okay? All right then. New York in the house, mad love and respect. Wicked. Mad love and respect. Wicked, wicked, wicked. Yes, it is a big ram hog, but it's all good. Right, listen, guys. I've got to tell you this one, okay? The psychological high has sort of nearly been tested. They've aggressively moved down lower, okay? This is where liquidation points reside. So, coming into 3 o'clock, we may get a little bit of a recovery in this range. Because if we actually look on the 1 hour time frame, you've got this sharp move to the downside from the highs, okay? But they haven't broken the 50, which is on the 1 hour time frame, okay? The 200 EMA on the 15-minute time frame is the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. So this is a really important zone. If they flush through this area, ladies and gentlemen, then we may be coming down low. If you notice, pattern watchers, listen, there's no vector candles here. But on the lower time frames, there is. Okay? Bitcoin has gotten into this habit of doing this up and down business. All right? Proof of this move will solidify itself in this zone because this is the only visible vector we can see in the chart. If Bitcoin's going to go lower, ladies and gentlemen, we would need a break of the 50 and then a retrace back up into the range to test the psychological high. And then we would initiate the continuation to the downside. Ladies and gentlemen, I got nothing but love for every single one of you beautiful people. Mad love for passing through. Be sure to like and subscribe as we will be tuning in again tomorrow to establish what Bitcoin can do next. Have yourself a wonderful day, guys. Got nothing but love for you. Peace.